Hey everyone, it's Elise Roloff with Hamilton County Resource, and we're back with another Recycling 101 video. Some new items have been added to the recyclables list in the past year, which is why I'm here, and we're gonna do a crash course refresher for you of all the recyclable items. We're going to start with one of the simplest categories, and that's glass. You can recycle glass bottles and glass jars. Those are the only two shapes of glass that you can recycle in your curbside bin. You can recycle colored glass, green, brown, red. Any colored glass is allowed to be recycled in our curbside bin. However, you cannot recycle broken glass. And we definitely don't want to slam our bottles or jars into the recycle bin and accidentally break them as we're trying to do a good thing. Keep that broken glass out, and remember, with your lids on your glass bottles and jars, if they are metal, you can detach them and recycle them separately in the bin. If the lids are plastic, remove them and put them in the trash. Our next category is cartons. Any type of carton, big or small, can be recycled. Make sure, just as you would with any other item that you're putting in your bin, that your cartons are completely empty and maybe rinsed out if possible before you recycle them. You want to remove your caps and straws and put them in the trash before you recycle your cartons. Especially, reminder, if you have kids and they have juice cartons or milk cartons at lunchtime, they can recycle their cartons. Just remove those straws first and make sure they're completely empty. The next category we're going to move on to is metal. It's a pretty simple one as well. You can recycle any metal cans, both steel and aluminum. Also, you can now recycle metal cans that are aerosol cans. The trick with these is that you have to take off the top, remove the tip, pop it off, and put that in the trash before you recycle your empty aerosol can. Our next category is paper products. This has quite a few things, so keep up with me, okay? We have cardboard. Any type of cardboard is really great to recycle. We really need these in the recycling factories right now. So, cardboard is great, but with cardboard, there's a lot of temptation to just put the full box in as is. What we really appreciate you doing is if you broke down your box or whatever type of cardboard you have, break it down as much as possible. You can stamp on it, squish it down, have your kids squish it down as much as possible, make it a game. Just remember to break down your cardboard. Flatten it so you can save space in the recycle bin, and you can prevent any accidents from possibly happening in the recycling facility. You can, of course, recycle regular paper, newspaper, office paper, any type of paper you're allowed to recycle. Magazine paper, even though it's glossy, can still be recycled. You can recycle those brown paper bags, or white paper bags if you have those, but brown paper bags for sure in that recycle bin. Any cardboard paper towel or toilet paper rolls, or potentially tape rolls that you have, you can recycle that cardboard part. And finally, you can recycle mail. Any type of mail, junk mail especially, I know sometimes we get a lot of that. You can recycle it even if it's got that little plastic window, because they're able to remove that in the recycling facility. The newest thing you can recycle in the paper category is paper cups. Remember, takeout cups. Takeout paper cups are the most important to recycle because they have a lining in them that you're able to recycle in the facility. They have the technology to do that now. So takeout cups can be recycled. We're now going to move on to the plastic category. This is the most difficult and challenging category So try to focus, stay with me. We're almost to the end and we'll get through this. So with plastics, there are 4 main things that you have to remember. You can recycle plastic bottles, jugs, tubs, and takeout cups. Repeat it with me: bottles, jugs, tubs, and takeout cups. I'm saying this, I'm trying to get it into everybody's brains because the shape is the most important thing when we're recycling plastics. So, we've got our bottles, any type of plastic bottles. It can be maybe a shampoo bottle, a drink bottle, it could be a dish soap bottle, anything like that. Recycle those bottles, okay? And now you can keep the lids attached to the bottles and just put it all together in that recycle bin. Now, don't keep the lids attached with the liquid inside and put them in the recycle bin. Make sure you empty those bottles first, and then you can reattach the lid and recycle it all at once. So we've got our bottles. Now we've got our jugs. They can be big, they can be small. Again, the lids can stay attached and you can recycle it all at once. Then we have our tubs. You can recycle coffee tubs, you can recycle pretzel tubs, and you can recycle things like butter or sour cream or yogurt tubs, anything like that that you might find in your fridge. It's that same type of plastic material. You can recycle your yogurt cups, big, small, whatever they are, recycle those plastic yogurt cups. And you can recycle things like applesauce cups or little baby fruit cups that you might send with your children to lunch. Just remember, keep the food out, keep the liquids out, make sure they're as empty as possible before you recycle them. Then, our final, newest addition to the plastic category is plastic takeout cups. These are really important to remember. Just the takeout cups, same as the paper cups. We want to make sure they're only from restaurants, cafes, anything like that that you take out a beverage from. You can recycle those cups, and remember, keep the lids attached. After you've emptied it all out, attach the lids and put it in the recycle bin. Now that I've covered all the items that you can recycle here on this table, I'm going to transition over to the items that cannot be recycled in our curbside bin. I know this can get tricky and confusing, but we want to make sure that we're recycling properly in order to ensure the safety of our recycling workers and to make sure that all the stuff that we're putting in the bin actually can be recycled in the factories. We have some items such as plastic party cups, plastic clamshells, and plastic takeout containers, as well as styrofoam containers that are just made of different chemicals. They're all sort of a plastic, but there's still a different chemical that cannot be recycled right now because we don't have the technology to do so. Then we have plastic utensils, little plastic spoons, forks, and knives that can't be recycled because they're really low quality plastic. They're not a bottle, jug, tub, or takeout cup. They're the wrong shape, and they could get caught up in all the cracks of the machinery and cause some problems in the machines. We have paper plates, which I know can be tricky because they're a paper product, but they're a very low quality product, and they could have residue of food, germs, grease, anything like that on them. Can't be recycled. It makes them trash. This has to go in the trash. The last thing that I'm going to talk about that should not be put in your curbside bin are tanglers. This could be anything from plastic ribbon to plastic cords to plastic bags for the grocery store or plastic snack bags. All of these plastics float around the factory and then they can get caught up and stuck in the machinery. They sometimes get really tangled and the workers have to stop the machinery, climb up into the machines, and cut the items out. We do not want to cause that dangerous situation for a worker, and we do not want to cause a slowdown in the recycling process. That's bad for everyone. So, these plastic ribbons or cords have to go in the landfill. But while these plastic bags and plastic film can't go in the curbside recycling bin, you might be able to recycle them at a nearby store. Certain stores in the area have recycling bins that you can put plastic bags in, and that would be a great option to do. The other thing that you could do is use reusable grocery bags or reusable utensils or reusable containers and cups in order to eliminate some of these problems with recycling. Thank you so much for joining me today. That's it for our little recycling crash course, and I hope you learned something. I hope you were able to make this worth your time and enjoy a little refresher on all things recycling. If you missed something or if you have any questions about recycling, please feel free to put them in the comments below and we will answer them. We'll get back to you, we promise. And you can also follow us on social media in order to stay updated on all things recycling and waste reduction. Thank you again for joining us and have a great day.